I never tweeted it out, but that's okay. Did everything else. So, assuming... Okay, cool. We are live on YouTube. Then I can just tweet that out there. Alright. Well, we're here. Almost 5 minutes before the Soul Hackers 2 Summoner's Guide. Mac, thank you for joining me. First, I gotta ask you, did you ever watch the first one, like, 2 weeks ago?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of these? Because these are just like the SMT5 ones.
They're very much the same, but with quote-unquote more character, because there's the character. But I liked it. It's something where I was absolutely, like, the description of the battle system prior to that first one was not good in the slightest. It legitimately just made it sound like the One More system. It was very confusing as to what was going on. It's like, are we even using demons at all in this game? Are demons literally just personas in this? It was not clear. But actually seeing it in action makes it seem a lot more interesting. It's not using demons in the traditional SMT sense, or even how Soul Hackers did it, but it's a system that's like, no, I see what's going on here. It's kind of like an offshoot of the demon co-op, but it's, as opposed to it being every single hit, it's more so like you're building it up throughout each turn.
I also would have accepted yes.
I like it.
Mag, now, I have an important question before this actually gets started, because then we got to prep this so that we're all watching it all synced up. What are your thoughts on Golden Boy? Where's the Golden Boy remake? I was thinking about this today. I was like, can Golden Boy come back in 2022, please?
Only if they get the original voice actors.
I hope you mean for the dub.
The dub.
Okay, good. Okay.
For the dub.
For the dub. Mandatory dub. I appreciate that. So, Max, so since you've not done a YouTube one with me before, I don't think live, basically when the YouTube countdown starts, when it gets to, like, let's try and sync up around 10, 15, then we pause, and then we just 3, 2, 1, click at the same time. That way we're all linked up.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, how was that? No spoilers. How was Better Call Saul tonight?
Really good.
Very excited.
Really good.
I need to catch up.
Great show. I missed it. It's been 2 years, and it was the kind of thing where after watching those first 2 episodes...
2 years?
Yeah, it's been 2 years since the last season aired, because COVID delayed it.
Time makes no sense. Also, Bob Odenkirk had to go back to making movies, to be fair.
Yeah, that, and also he got in an accident and production was delayed because he was hurt.
Old man is old. If you told me 20 years ago the guy from Mr. Show would be in Better Call Saul as this big of an actor, I would not have believed you.
Be one of the best drama actors.
Just actors. He's very good.
Oh, he's a great actor, period. Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, everybody, thanks for showing up live. I know this one's kind of weird. Not as bad as the 6 a.m. one I did last time. Demi Crow, Molten Sky, Pie, Jag Angus, Ryan, thank you all for being here. Oh, first super chat before we get started. Demi Crow, Lego Star Wars Clone Wars Remake or Lego Doctor Who for a full game? What would you prefer?
Like, what was it? What were the options again?
Lego Star Wars Clone Wars. So take the full Clone Wars experience and get that, like, the Skywalker Saga treatment, or Lego Doctor Who. I almost want to say Doctor Who, because I think Doctor Who would work really well and be very different, but Clone Wars, I think, deserves it probably more.
I don't know. I never played Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
However,
I thought you at least watched it. You never watched it?
No. I'm not like huge Star Wars.
Even if you're not, if you are cool with DC quality, Lego Clone Wars gives big, like, DC budget and tone stuff. It's really rough to begin with.
You mean like CW?
Yeah, well, no, it's like what I would say, like, their animated movies.
Okay.
Are you always so loud using the live premiere? Oh my god. Okay, well, we blew out everybody's eardrums, but what are you at? I'm at 33.
I am at 38, 37,
Ooh,
36.
okay, cool. I'll stop at
35.
25, and then you tell me when you're at 25.
Okay. I'm going to stop at 25, too.
Okay, cool. That way.
Boom, I'm at 25.
Okay. Closed captions are on. Everything cool like that. All right, give me 1 second. I'll go full screen, and then we can do 3, 2, 1. So let me pull this up for the chit chat. Everyone can see the thing. Perfect. All right, you want to go 3, 2, 1, click?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click. I guess we actually could not be like shitheads and like predict something for this. I'm gonna say this because they kind of have already talked about a lot that I want. Please announce a steelbook for this. It's kind of weird that like we haven't had one since 5, and I would like there to be a cool thing I import for this. But outside of that, I'm kind of cool to see anything. What do you want to see?
I'm going to predict there's going to be more of a focus on outside combat. Last time was mostly about combat itself. I'm going to guess we'll see more of like what happens outside of it.
I think you will be disappointed, but I will hope to be wrong.
Hey there, I'm Ringo of Ion.
By the way, it is so much better that they have Ringo as the host instead of the real lady from last time, who clearly filmed all of those months in advance.
Yeah, those are all real comments that they got, you know? Real comments people left behind, all of which just so happen to relate to questions or pieces of information that they would want people to know about.
That's what we're gonna get today, I bet. I bet we might fight about DLC today.
その歴史は古く、とある調査資料によると、
Okay, getting lore today. That chair looks so big on everybody. Yo, can we just like give a shout out, thank you that all of these are in English live, but then also I don't know why Atlas West doesn't just re-upload these on their channel. Like, what English fan is like going to know that these happened unless you search it out?
Remember how Spike Chunsoft made an entire ARG in both Japanese and English that released at the same time?
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They did for the Somnium Files.
Yo, where's the ARG for this? I feel like this almost feels more should have had one.
To be fair, I feel like the Somnium Files and just anything anything Uchikoshi is more appropriate to be in English because that's where his audience is.
That's true. Yo, can I just say it's really weird that she animates at 60 FPS and her mouth animates at 1.
I agree. I never fully understood it outside of it. Oh, it's a stylistic thing. But even then, as a stylistic thing, is something that I'm just not the biggest fan of.
It's funny you go to style, I go to, oh yeah, it's budget. Like Kingdom Hearts taught me when budget strikes in is when the mouths aren't animated.
Like nowadays, even if you're on a budget, you can still at least make the mouth movements more than just picture.
True.
Sleeping with him.
どうやらミレディの恋人みたいなんだけど、恋人のこと殺すって謎が多いね。そしてファントムソサエティからもう一人 RS。
Oh, we finally find out about weird rapper guy. What? He's the guy who kills her? Okay.
He makes it ridiculous.
He communicates exclusively through freestyle rap. That will be hilariously... I'm calling it now. That will be hilariously bad in English.
I appreciate that they're continuing the trend of having a music-based Devil Summoner.
True. That's a good point. Dude, Megami is a good point. It is weird we've had no update on English dub, but I feel like they're just going to do what they always do, just wait 2 months before release and we see it in June.
No, I absolutely agree. This is like Atlas's next big game. This is getting an English dub.
Well, no, it's confirmed. It's just, it's weird we've had it confirmed, but like
nothing
about it.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it. I blanked on that. No, yeah, it's weird that they're waiting so long, but they also waited a long time with 5.
Do you remember like when people thought 5 wouldn't get a dub? How weird that was?
Yeah, it was like, why? Are you serious? I feel like people took the 3DS games not getting dubs too hard.
That's also on Atlas though. Fuck you for calling it literally exploration. How dare you be 100% right? That's funny though. But no, I blame that on Atlas. Atlas has no reason not to be able to just tell their like fan base, hey, it's coming. Here's an update. I really hope they show off some dungeon design because I feel like especially with it being a locked camera angle, a lot of the shots we've seen of the dungeons just look really linear.
I agree. It's also just because it's an over-the-shoulder camera, it's just really hard to get any kind of grasp on the dungeon layout.
It's weirdly tight, which is funny because in TMS it's really pulled back far, so you can get a scope of how big everything is. And even though that was linear, it still had a good sense of scope, whereas this one almost feels like a third-person action game.
Yeah.
I still think, dude, I legitimately think this looks, at least character model-wise, so much better than SMT5. And I love how SMT5 looked, but something about the cell shading they used on this really pops.
No, I agree. I really like what they're doing here. My friend, I showed him the initial reveal trailer, and he said, unironically, he said it looked like a PS2 game, and he was being serious about it, and it was just this moment of like, dude, are you fucking serious? Jesus Christ, come on.
Go back to your PlayStation 2. Compare them now.
Like, I will admit, some of these environments do look like big and like flat, but I don't know what the context for those are, and plus we've seen some other environments that look a lot more detailed.
Plus, they're doing interesting things like, I'd rather have a boring dungeon in an interesting gameplay system and story. Like, I'm in the situation of like, they're intriguing me in the parts that really matter. Like, playing the game is really going to be like what matters for me. Like, an exciting world with a boring battle system does nothing for me. Oh, hands-on event. Wow, I'm sure I'll be there. Same with Mac.
Yes.
Thanks, Travel Ban.
Hello, I would like to move to Japan.
You know what?
Hello, I am now moving back home.
Hypothetically, if they did a hands-on event for... Wow, that's really it? How did you have less info than last time? That's a choice. That's a active choice. This was incredibly short. Wowzers. Okay. Well, let me put this puppy on loop then. That's so weird. Okay, well, I have thoughts. Mac, what are your thoughts?
I think it still looks good. I think it still looks good. I am concerned about the I am concerned, like we said, about the dungeon design, but that's something that could be easily assuaged just by showing us a fucking map. Um, but I think it's outside of that, like I'm interested. I still think it looks good. Yeah, no, I feel the same.
I have a weird complaint with this one I didn't have the first time. I feel like they should have just combined this event with the Milady trailer to like make this like
Start off with
to
the
like
Milady
make this
trailer.
like a 10-minute thing. Like this was like barely any information, which is like the honestly like the only real news. Like we learned some lore. I kind of would rather have just learned that from playing. The gameplay was fine, but really we mostly just learned you can still negotiate and get side quests from demons. It's just reconfirming a lot of stuff. Like there was nothing actually revealed here. Outside of in June, you won't be at this event and can't play this game. So it's a weird one. You know what they do? They didn't even do this, and this is the bare minimum. They didn't even do the bullshit, definitely not real Twitter question.
Yeah, no. At the very least, they didn't do that stupid thing.
I mean, it's stupid, but at least it led to us learning about something new. Where like
Yeah, no,
they could have talked about difficulty. They could have talked about like comparisons. Like honestly, at this point, I would have been fine if they fucking talked about the game having a 30 FPS mode or a 60 FPS. Like at this point, I'd be like, if you're gonna give me a lot of information, make it information that's worthwhile. Like the only thing I thought I learned didn't really matter. It was like, okay, the guy apparently Milady dies through freestyle rap guy. Like
yes.
that's about it. Like that's the biggest thing we learned. Like, and all that just goes back to, I would rather have just learned that from playing the game. Which it's not spoilers, but it's like I don't need this much information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Oh, Red Meridian, I 100% disagree with you there. This could not be on phones. Could it run on iPhones and high-end Androids? 100%. This would not be a fun phone game.
No, this is a console game. Just in terms of like the level of complexity, it's that kind of thing where you could probably make this run on a phone in the same way that you absolutely make this run on a Switch.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of is it the right platform for it? No, because this is meant to be like a sit-down console RPG. And not only that, but you also have like the complexity of the systems and that kind of thing.
Can we just like talk about the elephant in the room? I don't think anyone talking about bringing this game to Switch has ever brought up yet. This is the worst time to release a Switch RPG.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, do you really want to release this game less than a month after Xenoblade?
Xenoblade is killing everything.
I don't think it'll kill everything. I think if you're on Switch, it's going to have a chance at killing.
Yes, that's what I mean.
All right, you know what it's going to do? It's going to Elden Ring every other Switch game for at least until Splatoon comes out. If you have a Switch or if you cover Nintendo, all your like atmosphere will be about Xenoblade 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's it's something that it's really just a matter of get the hell out of the way.
Unless you're alive. Unless you're alive.
Unless you're alive. That's a game that's gonna sell to its audience regardless, but it's also just like, man.
I was listening to Friend Code, it's Easy Allies like Nintendo show, and they brought up an interesting point. If I feel like if you were any other company, you would just either push it up or push it back, right? Like, why not just make Live Alive come out in August then? Like, because the week before seems really just a strange choice.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. It's weird, but yeah, it is what it is.
Mac, how much East Coast energy do you got in you at 11:30 at night?
Not much. I've been doing quite a bit today,
He's plowing
so I'm
everyone.
feeling I'm feeling kind of tired. I'll probably be passed out in an hour or so.
Okay.
Um, might do a little bit of reading. Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
Um,
I wanna pick through a couple of things in chat, but if you get to the point where you got to get the fuck out, let me know and we can pull the plug on this. Because I want to pick a couple of interesting things, not only from your brain but also kind of from chat. That I've been thinking about a lot with Soul Hackers of like a big one first, and you can almost kind of pick both sides of the argument for an interesting story. In your opinion, and I know we're super biased because we look at all this news with a fucking microscope. Are they like if someone came up to you and said, "Is Atlas marketing this game well?" And by I mean this, I mean Soul Hackers too.
um, I think they're doing it all right. I think it's all right. I think especially like with this these update or like information videos. I'm blanking on what to call them.
They're called like
But
summoning guides, but yeah, like they're just live
yeah,
streams.
I think these compared to SMT5 are a lot like weaker, not in the sense of quality, but in the sense of like it feels like they're saying less or they're not saying as much as
It's
they did with 5.
it's strange because like let's think about it like this. So we started the info dump for 5 in June, and we had 5 months, and then for this one we have technically a little bit more runway because we learned about the game in February. So you have March, April, May, June, July, August. So you actually no, that's 6 months again. So well, yeah, 6 months against 5, but I think most of us know already. Scope and scale wise, this will not be as long or as big as SMT5. They've not said that, but like judging off everything we know, including the dev team, the time they've worked on this, like this is a game they've been working on since 2019. It's not like a AAA budget thing for them, but like this is like on the scale of a TMS. Like hence why it is that
Yeah.
team who's making it. So I think they're covering it as if it is their big game, and it is their big game. Like Atlas won't have anything else bigger than this year in terms of a new product, but I wonder if it's just one of those weird ones of like maybe SMT5 was easier because there were so many other things of like open show off the open world design. Where this is like somebody asked in chat, um, is this game open world or what or something like that? And like no, this is just going to be like there's your hub area. You go to your shops, you go to your blah blah blah. Like there's never going to be a moment you look at this game's world and go, "Whoa, dog, this thing's big." Like this game is meant to just be like a more traditional Atlas title, and I think kind of coming off of SMT5, they're probably gonna have some weird growing pains. It was Ryan who said that of like how do you market this without just seeming like they're marketing it like Persona. And I will say this, I think they've done a good job. This already to me, after how much time has happened, I feel like they've done a good job of differentiating it. Like there's never been a moment where I feel like they're just marketing this like every other SMT game. You know, like because at least for me, I felt like on the 3DS, whether it be Persona Q or Devil Survivor or Strange Journey, they all kind of bled together. Like they marketed and treated those games like they were all the same game, even if they were very different.
Mhm.
So I think they're learning and having like growing pains of this being like a third pillar, but it is at least weird. They haven't said how many of these we have. Assuming at this rate, they're just going to be monthly. Um, my only saving grace for this, and I have a weird bullshit conspiracy theory that I would love to know what you think of this. Mac, what is the chance that they've been marketing this so well that they wanted to have a bad live stream to make Persona look like they did something good this month?
Uh, 0.
Well, because, like, remember in February, with the February announcement, they were coming off of announcing this, and then all they did for February was announce a fucking festival, and rollback was coming later. So it was like, well, yeah, Soul Hackers was the better announcement. Like, they shat the bed with Persona so bad that they had to announce a new event for April, and now, like, the April... What are we, 5 days away from April happening? It's like, unless the April announcement blows everyone's fucking brains off, that I really don't think it will be, I don't think it would be a bad thing of, like, Atlas being like, hey, should we just give them a bullshit live stream for Soul Hackers 2? Because, like, really, at this point, it's the second one of however many they're going to do. They already announced what they're going to talk about next. They're doing something in June. They can fumble with Soul Hackers to make Persona hopefully look better by comparison. Because really, coming off of this...
Still zero.
Okay.
I'm sorry, nothing you're saying. No, I don't think they would shoot. I don't think they would be stupid enough to shoot their own game in the foot over shit that's not even, I think, is overblown. Frankly, I think people are making a way bigger deal out of the 25th anniversary than it is. I think they are screwing up, but everyone's saying like this is a disaster. I think they're freaking out more so because it's just not. I feel like people are expecting like game after game after game every single month, and when it's not like, and obviously, you know, it's not that, but I just think people are just expecting too much almost. And they are screwing it up, but it's also like, come on, guys, like, what did you expect? Almost.
There's two things, because I saw something recently that someone had shared around, and I half agree with you, but I have to, because I think there's a very interesting line with the conversation of the 25th anniversary thing. Oh, I know what it was. David had made his video basically just reading comments on Twitter of people mad at the announcement, which is fine. David can do that. And then Keith made a response basically being like, hey, don't be a crybaby. They're handling it fine. Which, again, you can have your opinion about it. But I think the interesting middle ground is I don't think enough people are talking about the fact that... you are very justified to say that this has been a bad announcement, but also, like, let's be real, we're living in a time where they could just not have celebrated this at all and it'd be fine. Like, we're kind of in a Year of Luigi thing, where, like, well, to be fair, the Year of Luigi has been better than this so far, but, like, it's one of those things, if we didn't need a 25th anniversary announcement to be hyped up back in September, and then now we're in April, and only one real positive product has come from it. So it's one of those things that I think you can critique how they've done it. I think a majority of the memes and people like dunking on it, whether it be the mouthwash and stuff like that, I think that is just people kind of looking at, like, because we've talked about this before, and I wish we had like a term for it. Like, tell me if there is one, of people on Twitter complaining about something louder than the people they're complaining about. I think that's a large amount of the anniversary conversation.
It's absolutely a loud minority.
So
vocal minority.
There's more people complaining about the anniversary. So it's one of those weird things where I think it is totally valid, but it just depends on how you go about it.
Wait, you're saying there's more people complaining about the complainers?
100%.
I am seeing the exact opposite.
Okay.
I see the exact opposite. I see people complaining about the 25th anniversary way more than the people complaining about the complainers. I am seeing way more people just freak out over this. And like, I'm seeing people act as if the freaking mouthwash was this month's announcement.
They
like
should.
It was an
they better at least mention it, because they've got to know at this point that it's like anything they do is a fucking meme with it.
I think it's just absolutely like, I just think people are overreacting.
I'll say this. I think it's definitely signal boosted a lot more for me, because I'll see people share videos about it, where if someone on Twitter says, man, this anniversary has sucked, I don't really look at it and think very much of it. If I see that someone made a 20-minute video talking about how much it sucks through other people, then I think, okay, that's making a big deal out of like nothing. Because it'd be like, imagine if someone like every month this year was like, guys, Kingdom Hearts, there's nothing this month. Nomura, you've screwed us after last month. Like, what are we gonna do? Whereas, like, kind of going back to the Square Enix thing, I think the whole problem with Atlas, and again, just goes back to marketing, just tell people what the next thing's gonna be about. We're still gonna be there. You can't like, at this point, they should know. They're on the 4th announcement. They should know they need to tell you what that's gonna be. Like, you have lost all faith. Whether people think it's been a success, a disaster, or neutral, everyone can universally agree this is not how you promote an anniversary celebration. Tell them what it's going to be about.
I don't think they're handling this super well.
Now, Mac, you forced my hand. We now have to ask you, what is the April announcement going to be? Oh, also, please vamp for me with a serious answer. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Persona 5 poop socks. That's my answer. What about you guys? Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're there, leave a like, subscribe, check out my other videos. I'll see you guys next time with whatever I come up with next. I love you. Mwah. I'm working on a new video. I promise. I was working on it earlier today.
I feel like do you think you're slow at making videos?
Yes.
What's like you cranking on all cylinders? I'd love to, because like I feel like you put out videos at a pretty good pace, or at least when there's been a distance, there's like a reason for it. Like they're meaty.
Last year, what felt like me cranking out, because I was getting out like a pretty massive video. Like I was getting out like a video a month, and it was a bunch of like massive videos every other month. That is what felt like me cranking on all cylinders, and that was also just me, doing other stuff. But I will say part of this, what it is it's more so me being like, I actually just stopped working on my my next big video for like a month. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad about that. So that's kind of more what it is.
I mean, it's weird because I think, I don't know, do you feel like a lot of your friends, like, do any of your friends ever, like, go on that thing? Because, like, he was supposed to be here, but I always feel so bad for Ozzy. Like, whenever he'll be like, man, I gotta fucking do a thing. Whereas, like, he's got such a specific vision of what he wants to put out. I think that, like, keeps him in editing hell, let alone, like, with technical troubles. That, like, I feel bad because it's, like, you have an idea of what you want that's very specific. Like, for me, I can bullshit out a video in a day because I have an extremely low level of quality in terms of video editing, but most of it just comes from the information or the, like, analysis I'm going to provide and put into it, which I can, like, knock out pretty quickly from my time writing. So, like, it's always so weird of, like, I always, like, think it's... Because, like, I always feel bad when people are like, God, I'm a failure because I haven't done a video in, like, X amount of time. Which, like, you always hate to see, but then it's also one of those things of, like, I can't think of any time I've ever seen someone who then took a long time for a video, and then people were like, that wasn't worth it. You know? Like, what, like, for you, like, what's the longest, like, work time you put into one video?
I'm not even sure I'm not even sure. I don't know if I can tell you.
Oh, wasn't it, there was one of the selling you on last year's that I thought took you fucking forever. Was it No, it wasn't 2. I feel like it was either 2 or If.
I don't remember.
Zeron brings up an interesting point. I'd be curious how you feel about this. I'm going to say no. Do you think Atlas... Sorry, not do you, but Zeron says, I think Atlas will have a big holiday game, or a game, this year, since Atlas has had a constant fall/holiday game since 2017. I will say this, they're going to consider fall is August. Like, I can't... Yes. I cannot see them doing anything else. Okay, sorry.
Which I will say, to be fair, in my mind, I know it's not, but in my mind, I consider August fall.
Yeah, and honestly, like, also, like, let's be real, like, they won't need it. Like, realistically, they've really just got to do, like, 2 or 3 fucking ports this year. Like, just release Persona 4, release Persona 3, maybe release my thing now at this point is like I'm just expecting them just to shit out something on the PlayStation, like new PlayStation Plus, of like that's how they're gonna get those PSP games on there. Like they're just gonna like crap that out and just use like Sony's emulator. Actually, I haven't asked you, how did you feel about the surprise Last Bible announcement that we're getting this summer?
Oh, say one more time.
Last Bible special, the cell phone game, was actually the last, ironically, last Bible game. There's like a 2007 cell phone game is getting released by a publisher in Japan whose name I'm forgetting, but they specialize in like doing weirder ports of like old cell phone games from Japan.
I didn't hear about this at all.
That is wild. Okay, so you know how Atlas, especially in like the early 2000s, did a ton of like mobile only games.
Or phone game,
The last Jesus, I hate them saying last for this. The last Bible game was called Last Bible Special, and that released on phones in like 2007. That is getting ported. That is getting ported to Switch this summer.
Damn.
And well, to be fair, it will only be Japanese. But the fact that like they're porting this really obscure version of Last Bible to Switch is like really cool. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be up there with those ports that are really cool, but because it's Japanese only, no one's going to care about it. And especially considering it's going to be downloadable only, I think a lot of like there won't be as many people importing it. Like, did you know that the original Digital Devil Story is available on Switch right now?
Yes, I did actually.
Trivia question: how do you play it?
It'd be through Famicom Online.
No, you are thinking of Shin Megami
Oh yeah, it's
Tensei.
through the Namco thingy. The
There you
Namco
go.
thingy.
Namcot.
Yeah.
The Namcot collection. It was DLC, which made it extra painful considering we got the Namco collection, but we didn't get any of the Japanese only games. So that was pretty weak. But oh, thank you, Madigan Lord. Yes, Gmode is the company who's doing it. And just to put in perspective how tiny Gmode is, all of the Western weebs who like last, or at least remember, Last Bible, were all replying to them, and they were like, "Wow, guys, this is our biggest announcement we've ever had." And you look at the trailer, and it doesn't even have like 10K. It's like their bar's pretty low for like people seeing stuff for it. But I mean, they're also like, it's gonna be like less than $10. It's like a super low effort thing, but it's at least like a cool thing to kind of get. And honestly, I'd rather get a re-release like that than the super tiny Game Gear Mini. Like, even though that Game Gear Mini was such a cool thing to have with all those old Megaten games, that's the worst way to play those. But let me see though. We gotta. I have a couple other questions if you're still alive for like another like 5 minutes.
5 more minutes, and then I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'm done for.
Well, I appreciate you for letting me drag you. Oh, I got an interesting Mac question for you, because we're talking about release years, not release year, release timing, and I made this tweet, and I've been like thinking about this so much more recently. Is this just like the most uneven year for big games? Like, I can't think of a year that like if you have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox like Series X, like, what's the big games for them? Like, this is one of these weird years where it's like, dude, if you didn't have a Switch this year, what are you looking forward to right now?
God of War.
But even that doesn't have a confirmed release date. I bet it does come out this year, but it's like the next big thing. I guess that's confirmed with the date is Starfield.
I mean, one thing I'll say to that is, we oftentimes at this point in the year we don't have the release dates for like the fall or the holiday games. We don't have those.
If you look you look at the release calendar, it has never been this dry as it has now, and especially now that we know there will, like, right now the only events we're going to be having is the like Jeff Keighley thing, since there's no like proper E3, and a lot of the like things that have been going on is like right now Microsoft maybe we'll have 2 games this year, like big games. Right now, Redfall by the Prey team and Starfield are supposed to be their big ones. Obviously, there will be Call of Duty. Mystery Boil, if the RE4 remake comes out this fall, I will shit my pants. Putting that out there. I don't think that comes out this fall. I will shit my absolute pants.
It's not gonna happen. We're gonna get the Resident Evil Village DLC.
Dude, I was just thinking, how do we not know what that is yet? We don't even know what it is. You've got to imagine, right?
No,
that's just got to be like a spin-off game at this point, right? Like, I'm sure they'll sell it as DLC, but like the fact that, because if you remember when they announced it, they said we were not planning on DLC, but Resident Evil Village was so popular, like that we started development for it, and I'm like, at this point, it can't just be something like the Joe Baker DLC. I feel like it's got to be like almost like a little mini campaign.
I don't think so. I think it'll still be something fairly. I think it'll be something extensive, but I don't think it'll be what you're saying.
Will it have a boxed release this fall?
No.
I'll say yes. I bet you Capcom will find a way to charge $30 for it at retail as its own little weirdo thing. And I'm going to put this out there just because I really hope it's true. Playable Ada. She was going to be there. Bring Ada back, please.
Okay. I am tired as hell.
Mac, little did you know, I've actually fooled you this entire live stream. Do you know why?
We're not actually live at all. There's no live stream. You just talk to me.
That would be horrifically evil, but kind of funny. No! Not only have you helped me do this live stream tonight, you're also on episode 267 of the Shin Megami Tensei Network podcast. Also, it's ending. This was the podcast, everybody.
Neat.
That's called I Don't Have Time to Do a Real Long Episode. So this was the podcast, 40 minutes of us talking. So hopefully I vamped for long enough and we can make it up with the real episode. But Mac, before I let you go, because I don't want to keep you here while I do where people can find us stuff forever, where do you want people to follow you?
JBO Maka, Twitter, basically most places, Maka on YouTube. Also, I'm sorry to say, Spencer, but you made a mistake.
Shit.
I am not Mac. This is Miyamoto.
Oh no! You know what? If I wasn't starting the live stream like 2 minutes before we were supposed to, my plan was going to do the fucking tweet. This is Spencer. The live stream. Jeez, I'm ready. That meme's gonna get nose piled into the ground after tomorrow. Everyone's gonna wake up tomorrow thinking they have the funniest copy tweet idea with that fucking Miyamoto tweet. Jesus.
Is funny. I'll be honest. I think the reason why that tweet is so awkward is because it's a direct translation.
Oh no, 100%. But I'll say this though: if
direct translation, because in Japanese, this is Miyamoto would just be Miyamoto desu, and that is how like a lot of like announcements like that kind of start off in Japanese. So I think,
be honest though, if Miyamoto had Twitter, it would be just as awkward as that tweet.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But yes, Mac, where do you want people to find you? Where can you be found? And did you already tell them what your next video is?
No, but I also already said where to find me though.
Oh, okay. Did you do that while I was gone?
No, I did it like 2 minutes ago.
No way. Okay. Well,
right before the "This is Miyamoto" joke.
Oh my god! Listen, I'm having I work. These are the end of my work week, so by the time I'm like Monday streaming, the brain is foggy. But Mac, did you know you'll be back on this channel probably within the next 7 days?
Probably not.
Damn.
Because I got a lot of stuff I'm doing. I also from my work, not from my work, from my my apartment complex. Apparently they had like, hey, last year they had if you renew now, you get a free $50 gift card, and we renewed and we never picked up the gift card, and then like a week ago they brought it to us and said, hey, this runs up on May 1st, We just wanted to go ahead and deliver it to you. It's like, oh, cool. I didn't even know this was a thing. Thank you. And now my roommate and I are like determined to spend the $50, whether that be going to a movie and getting as many snacks as we want, or just going to the retro game store and buying a bunch of shit.
Is it like a gift card, or like a Visa gift card?
Visa gift card.
You
So we
should
can
just
spend
be
it on whatever.
as savvy as possible, and just try to make your way to that limited run store next week, and just buy whatever is the most expensive thing on eBay to flip, and then make more money.
That's not a bad idea.
Because there's a lot of stupid stuff that's rare that you wouldn't think of. Like limited runs releases, like 99% of it, all for retail or under. But then random ones like Bloodstained Curse of the Moon on Switch, $130. They still have a ton of copies. That's like a $30 game. Bloodstained 2 though, way too many. No one wants it. Like Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, very retail. No one is paying over market price for that one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pass out. I gotta fold laundry and then I'm gonna pass out.
That's the more adult answer. I would have just fallen asleep and then said I'll do it in the morning, and then woken up and went, oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. Thank you, man.
Bye, people.
Well, people, you've not gotten rid of me, though, because I've got to wrap up this definitely real podcast as I get rid of Discord. Blah, 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 blah. First off, just want to thank everyone live in chat. Thank you, Zeron, Madigan, Ryan, Julius, Doctor, Pi, of course, Demi Crow for the 2 super chats, Cross Renren, Jagingus. Really appreciate y'all for coming on. Sorry this is not like a regular podcast, but week's been weird. I've been trying to schedule stuff. Pi, I don't know what you're saying I forgot. Unless we're talking about the where to find Mac thing, and in that case, my brain is stupid right now. Also, according to my phone, my messenger keeps telling me Mary's been trying to type something for 10 minutes, but I don't think that's true. Because she's just standing quietly behind me. So, thank you all for watching this. A normal, beefy episode will be up next time, but hopefully you all enjoyed this little chit-chat. This will be up audio-wise for people. No, you know what? I'll stay up and just probably crank this out so people can enjoy that otherwise. Socially Awkward, thank you so much for popping in here. Needed background noise while I download 3DS Dragon Quest fan translation. Now that's a mood for sure. But you know what else is a mood? Going to patreon.com/SMTN, where you can help make this show happen every week. Just like all of our awesome Patreon producers and SMTN fans. If you want to get this show early or have exclusive giveaways or benefits, you can donate $1 or more a month, and then you can get all those benefits. If you'd like me to say your name at the end of the show as an executive producer, just like Jag Angus, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Renren, Goro Serra, Jazzy Jefferson, K-Horse, K-Shika, Patrick Dissart, Philip Meyer, C-Show, Solaire, and Cameron Sharp, thank you all so much for being executive producers. You get the privilege of me butchering your names each and every week, and I cannot be more thankful to all of you for it. So to any of the new or old Patreon supporters, it really helps out a bunch. But yeah, thanks for popping on the show, listening to us. Atlas, not gonna lie, this was a pretty weak live stream, but I was glad it didn't have to go too long. And maybe you'll find out where Ozzy went, because he was supposed to join us. And he might have died. Find out next week if Ozzy died or not. Goodbye, everybody. See you on the next podcast / live stream.